Tony, how you doing, man? Welcome to Atlanta. Far cry from our Missouri roots, right?
Absolutely. I'm St. Louis. You're
Poplar Bluff originally.
yeah. I'm born and raised there. Enjoy the region. Happy to be here in Atlanta, and happy to be here at the FreightWaves event.
Well, it's interesting. It's your first event to come to for us, but we've known each other for a number of years. Really dating back to kind of my early days here at FreightWaves. I've been here for almost 5 years. You've been at CAS for, what, 23 years?
It'll be 23 years in October. I've been with the freight division since the end of 2014. So I was in a corporate role, then moved over to the freight division. Still feel somewhat like a newbie. You know, it's like there's so much to learn, but I love the history of CAS. You know, CAS started out as Cass Avenue Bank and Trust in 1906 in St. Louis. So again, born and raised in St. Louis to work for a company with that type of heritage. And then at the time, in the 1960s or so, the bank branch was surrounded by trucking terminals. So trucking firms at the time had to be paid in a certain number of days, so CAS crafted a solution, which I think is the genesis of freight payment, where the carriers would show up with stacks of paper freight invoices, take them up to the teller, that would create a deposit, and then we would then draft the amounts out of the shippers' accounts.
So CAS is such an interesting bank in that way, right? In that, like, you are a bank, but you have this huge freight audit and bill pay business. It really just started because you were accepting, invoices back in the day as essentially a freight payment solution before that even existed?
Absolutely, yeah, and we're a weird bank, and it's hard to describe us to people, but when we're talking in the context of meeting with our shippers, the fact that we're a federally regulated financial institution that manages upwards of $40 billion of freight spend. We pay most of that on behalf of our shippers, and so they care a lot about cybersecurity, controls, scalability, resistance. When we think about COVID and just almost a front row seat of watching the U.S. economy shut down. And then through all that, having the liquidity, having the systems to just hold serve and just stay steady through all that, I think has helped our customers really feel comfortable that, yes, this small bank, we're a very small bank in terms of asset sizes, about $2 billion when you think of someone like in the trillions, a JP Morgan or a Citi or something, but we have a lot of the same overhead, a lot of the same investments in order to stay safe and sound. That just gives our shippers a lot of comfort.
So it's a 120-year-old bank almost, but you guys have obviously seen it change a lot from pen and paper to now a pretty automated solution that goes through. Talk about kind of like, not necessarily that transformation to get there, but you guys have a front row seat to where this industry is changing. It's clearly very competitive out there, and the needs of shippers are always changing. So what are you seeing for the future for your customers?
I was thinking about that, and we are in a very competitive environment, and it's hard to communicate the value that we bring and how unique we are in the market space. But, we could talk about geopolitics. We could talk about, AC or BC, BC before COVID, after COVID, what's going on with nearshoring, onshoring, globalization. But I think the phrase that kept on, circulating in my head was, the more things change, the more they stay the same, right? That when I'm meeting with our shippers, the first thing that comes to mind, and you mentioned it, it's a highly automated operation. We have a highly automated operation, but that's never ending, right? So if the economy is going well, the shippers are always expected, at least the people we deal with, the main constituencies like operations, finance, procurement, they're always being asked to do more with less. Right? So as an outsourcing and solution partner, we want to help them along. So in times when growth is fast, they just can't find the talent. So help me, CAS, with tools and solutions to help me do my job. When things are a little softer and they're asked to do more with less, please come alongside me, make sure I'm optimizing my freight spend, and again, I'm doing more with less. So I see that in the staffing and automation. Then the second one is working capital. Yes, we're a bank. Yes, we offer a suite of working capital solutions, and that stays constant, right? From a shipper's perspective, we see that can I go from 30 to 60, 60 to 90 or whatever. From the carriers, how can I get paid quicker? You know, and just a shameless plug that we did launch recently a new product, a working capital solution called Amplify, where we're truly trying to bring shippers and carriers together to solve that at the table. Let's all get at the table and come up with a solution that works for everyone. And then the last thing, and really most important for why we're sitting here, is data. Right? Our shippers are swimming in it, right? There's data warehouses, data lakes, data lake houses. You know, there's so much, but I think what they really need are tools, you know, to help them make better decisions.
We spend a lot of time talking to our customers, investors, and employees about kind of just how much data is out there in our industry. I mean, you guys see more of it than anybody else from a contract perspective, over what, $40 billion a year. And what we've sought, and you've heard this, everybody that's in the room has heard all the conversations about AI, and you've seen one AI application earlier from our Sonar team with what we're doing with Compliance Curve. I think the kind of underappreciated element of the AI revolution is how much data it is going to require. Because our industry, a little unlike kind of what you're seeing maybe if you're writing marketing content or some of the things that come from a traditional chatbot, really relies on really customized specific data. And I think like what we're talking about together today is how that gets empowered with the best data. And the best data really comes from somebody that's got reliable, audited, high frequency, high volume levels of data, and nobody can really put that at the center of the conversation and help power that next AI evolution other than folks like Cass and Sonar together.
Yeah, we're seeing that we take data from the different sources. We ingest data from TMSs. We get the carrier invoice and supporting documentation across multiple modes, and our data set is primed, and we'll continue to invest in tools like AI and to curate that data on the way in, and then analyze and present it to our customers on the way out.
And I think that's the exciting part about why we're here today, is to really announce kind of a partnership that we're launching today. So, Cass coming out and getting a chance to work more closely with you guys has been awesome from the Sonar perspective, and announce that kind of we're going to be partnering together on a channel and integration partnership for your 300 plus customers to be able to access SCI through the Cassport portal and be able to access SCI using Cassport as an integration tool.
It's a transformative announcement for us. I think we were talking recently, it's like, Spencer, go look at our partnership page. We don't have one, right? We do have a few external relationships, but in talking with your team and as our product teams and sales teams have gotten together, we're just really grateful, that you'd want to partner with us, and we're excited to share this tool with our shipper community because it really just takes our tool set to the next level. We're announcing a decision intelligence suite. So we have a robust set of analytical tools within our portal, Cassport, that shippers enjoy today. We have a benchmarking tool that shippers enjoy today, where we anonymize the data and we're able to share it within our shipper community. Now, we know that had some limitations, and we've gotten to know your product, and we just can't wait to introduce our shippers to your tool, have it seamlessly integrated, and thankfully, too, to be the exclusive freight audit and payment partner for the Sonar SCI solution. We appreciate it, and again, can't wait to share it with our shipper community.
I mean, it's really, I think, pretty evolutionary, right? It's like nobody has better data than you guys, and the only solution that exists out there from the SCI perspective, with SCI, is combining price and service. Right? We just spent 20 minutes talking about that a little bit ago, but like that concept of understanding, what am I paying and getting the most for what I'm paying for from a service perspective I think is a really interesting combination here. And it's been a real pleasure for us to be able to work together in that concept. So How do you think that shippers are going to be able to take advantage of that? If you're a CAS customer, it's probably pretty easy, right?
Yeah, so it's really a discussion. A discussion. We'll share information about the tool. They already have access to Cassport. We're working out the plumbing with Sonar SCI, and it couldn't be easier for their data to start flowing into your tool. And thankfully, we already have some joint customers, and we'll get them set up, post haste.
I know. We all need to introduce each other over at each other's booths later today. Well, Tony, thanks for coming out here today. It's been fantastic to get a chance to talk to you. And we're looking forward to kicking off a really long-term, exciting relationship where this is just the beginning.
Absolutely. This is, we're just scratching the surface, and our product teams are hard at work figuring out how can we take this even to greater heights.
Awesome. Well, thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you.